Super Showdown this Saturday morning. Early, 4 a.m. / 5 a.m. if you're here on the East Coast, depending on when WWE actually wants to kick this show off. You could either wake up really early, or you could just not go to bed the night before, which is probably what the Amplified Man is going to do, because I have a jam-packed Saturday as it is, so I have to catch this event live, and then push out a Good, the Bad, and the Ugly review show for you guys here on YouTube, and then go about my business out there in the world. So I'm going to catch this thing live as it happens. Again, here on the East Coast, that's 4 / 5 a.m. So wherever you guys, whenever you guys are going to catch it, hopefully you enjoy it, whether you're getting up early or you're catching it late, or it's the perfect time for you guys wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you guys are able to catch it and enjoy it. Hopefully they put on a damn good show. And we're going to go over the whole preview show is right now. We're going to go over every match. Raw and SmackDown are coming together to put on this show over there in Melbourne, Australia. And again, we'll get to that in a second. I first just want to congratulate my New York Yankees for kicking some wild card ass last night. They started their playoff voyage and adventure, or misadventures, we'll find out. But they started their journey in the playoffs last night in the wild card game. They defeated the Athletics 7-2. And it just seems like they had that game in their clutches from inning number 1. It was their game to lose, and they ended up kicking ass. That's really cool. So we won the wild card game. Now we go on to the ALDS, the American League Division Series, in Boston against the Boston Red Sox. I can talk. I'm still losing my voice from last night, man. I was screaming every single pitch, every at-bat. So if we can take care, and that's right, I said we, because when you're a Yankee fanatic, you are on that field basically with them. Every pitch, every at-bat, you are with them. So I like to say we. So if we can take care of Boston in the 5-game series coming up, then we move on to the American League Championship Series. If we win that, then it's on to the World Series to try to capture our 28th championship. Could you imagine that? Picture Ric Flair, an entire career, 16-time world champion. An entire fucking career, 16 times. Now imagine winning all of baseball 28 times. That is the voyage that my Yankees are on, man, and hopefully they can seal the deal come end of October, early November. We'll find out. But again, congratulations. Now let's move on to our preview show for Super Showdown. And by the way, this is one of my favorite Yankee shirts. I got this when the old stadium shut down years ago. And fucking in a stunad moment, that means stupid in Italian, I was a fucking stunad of epic proportions. I decided to paint my buddy's house one day with this shirt on. And I don't know if you can see or not, but I got paint all down, like fucking spotted all over the fucking shirt, because I thought I was doing a genius job. And then when I looked down, I had paint, and it just never fucking came out. Must have washed it 77 times with every type of fucking component you could think of. Nothing worked. So it was time to get rid of it, right? Absolutely fucking not. Still one of my favorite fucking shirts. It's symbolic. It's one of those shirts that went off sale the second that stadium closed. You can no longer get these. So this is a very original. So yes, you're probably not seeing things if you can see it. There are some fucking spots, but you know what? That's what you get when you paint with such an iconic fucking shirt. And I was a fucking moron on that day. Anyway, I will not get rid of this motherfucker. We are fucking keeping this for eternity. I might have to retire it soon, but I'll put it up in like a plaque or something, man. Trust me, I'm not fucking crazy like that. I will do such a thing. All right, now on to the preview show. There is a Cruiserweight match apparently that I can give 2 fucks about. You guys know I don't go over the Cruiserweight matches. I can't believe the Cruiserweight division is even still around, because it was a complete failure and a complete flop. And I know I don't need that 1 or 2 fans typing in, BC, it's actually pretty good, the action, if they just did it better. I understand. I totally understand. An airplane experience would be much better if companies knew how to run their businesses as well. A double cheeseburger at McDonald's could be much more epic if they actually made it like the picture shows. We can't always fucking get what we want in life. You know, a Cruiserweight division sounds epic, but when we see how WWE does it, and we should have known this, then we know it's a flop. And because it's a flop, I don't want to see the shit. So no, I will not go over the Cruiserweight match. That is not going to be in this preview. I've already spent way too much time on it, to be honest. I could give a shit if Gilbert or James Ellsworth or Hornswoggle shows up or Kelly shows up and wins the Cruiserweight Championship. I could give zero fucks. Now let's get on with the actual preview. I'm going to start off with the SmackDown brand. I believe SmackDown has 5 matches on this card. 4 matches are Monday Night Raw, and again, that one Cruiserweight match. That equals 10 matches that I'm going to go over. So starting with the SmackDown 5 matches, the match I'm going to start off with is the Tag Team Championship match. This is The Bar versus The New Day. Now this is, I believe, the first time that The Bar is going for tag straps on SmackDown. However, don't be fooled, because The Bar and The New Day have fought many times over on Monday Night Raw's brand. So this is a rematch, but not like Rematch Slam, right? I mean, this card at least has a little bit of more originality. I can't say I'm any more excited, but a little bit more originality than Rematch Slam. But The Bar and The New Day, I can't say I'm that excited about because I have seen it so many times in so many different variations. And because both teams have been around for just so fucking long, every which way you could think of, we see them every week. There's no real suspense when The New Day comes out. Yes, they're entertaining. Yes, they're funny. But we don't get that, wow, it's The New Day feel when they come out. In The Bar, we especially don't get the, oh, it's The Bar feeling. So this is a Bar, New Day. This is just a SmackDown match for me. Or a Monday Night Raw match. A house show match. It just happens to be for the Tag Team Championships. I can't say I'm over the top excited. I can't even say I'm excited at all for this match. Hopefully they go out there and do what they're capable of, though, and that's wrestling. If they all go out there and put the performance that I know they're capable of doing, then it doesn't matter really about the suspense of the story that is lacking, but the wrestling will be so on par and so kick-ass that when the match is over, we can at least say, wow, that was a good match. If we're at least saying that, then no harm, no foul, and this match will have went off without a hitch. But in order to do that, everybody has to go out there and do what they're capable of. If this is just a subpar match to a match that I'm already saying is no more than a SmackDown match or a Raw match, then this is going to be highly disappointing. But when it's all said and done, I don't see how The Bar takes the tag straps unless there's a story for them going further. I'm talking past Survivor Series and through the Royal Rumble, because you can't hot potato the shit, and this can't just be a transfer title. In other words, The Bar gets it just to hand it to another team at Survivor Series, say. And who the hell would that team even be? They're running out of teams just like Raw. We're going to have the Usos out there taking it from The Bar, and then what? Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, The New Day reignites another feud with the Usos, and The New Day gets it from them? See what I'm saying here, guys? There's a lack of tag teams, and there's a lack of interest in the tag team division. There's a lot of problems. I'm talking Raw and SmackDown. So I don't see how The Bar gets these titles unless you actually have a plan. The New Day has to retain here. They're going to be the heavy favorites. And aside from that, if you have zero plan for the tag division, then the straps would be long on the New Day, because at least they're going to be entertaining and set up whatever Vince McMahon comes up with. If he's got a last-minute team that he wants a feud with, then that's going to be much easier set up by the New Day. That's just common sense, I would think. But a lot of people might want The Bar to get the championships just because, like Billie says, everybody should get a turn with them. I'm all set with that. If you don't have a plan for either team, keep them on the New Day, and let's build their reign up so when a team does take it off of them, it means more. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the next match I'm going to go over is another kind of, I guess you would say, an exhibition undercard match for the SmackDown brand. And that is Asuka and Naomi taking on Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Now, we know why this match is happening. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are both from Australia. I understand that. But when you look at a super show, I don't know if this is the match that you would really think of. So much like the Tag Team Championship match for SmackDown, this match as well, I'm really not looking forward to. I'm not intrigued. It doesn't excite me at all. The only thing that would semi-excite me is to see what the reaction is going to be. Is Australia going to totally boo Asuka and Naomi, which we know, facing anyone else, Australia would love these two. But because it's those hometown type caliber wrestlers for Australia and Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, We know they're going to get the cheers, right? But how much is it going to be? Is it going to be 50-50? And those Naomi and Asuka fans are still going to cheer for them? Or is it just going to be 100% just out of the water? Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are going to be cheered to the high heavens. Who knows? That's going to be kind of interesting to see how the crowd reacts to Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Asuka, and Naomi. As far as the wrestling, I don't know what we're really expecting here. I don't know how I can believe, realistically, that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are going to beat Asuka and Naomi. But it is Australia, so Vince could give them this match. But if that happens, you need to sell that to people like me who've been watching this shit for 30 plus fucking years and know how good Asuka is and Naomi is. You're going to have to sell me hard on believing that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay just defeated Asuka and Naomi, which means you're going to have to get real creative because I'm just not buying that shit. I don't care if they're facing each other in Australia, at some remote gas station in Kentucky, if they're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on some raft battling. I don't care where they're tussling. I don't believe that Billie Kay and Peyton Royce can realistically defeat Asuka and Naomi. That's what I'm saying. I'm being truthful with you guys. So that might be what does happen because it is Australia, but you're going to have to sell me on a really fucking good way. You're going to have to make this match end in a realistic way that I'm like, all right, I'm sold. Because no amount of cheatery or trickery or dastardly deeds that Peyton and Billie Kay can pull off can still beat Asuka and Naomi. I don't see it happening. But does Vince have the fucking balls, the cojones, the how you doings to make Billie Kay and Peyton Royce lose in Australia? I don't know. That's the only suspense in that match. Moving on. These are the three matches for SmackDown that I am looking forward to. This would be the overcard for me. And we're going to start with Daniel Bryan and The Miz because this is a feud I've loved from day number one. And I'm glad how it ended. I'm pleased, I should say. I can't say glad, right? You're never glad when Daniel Bryan loses. But I'm pleased at how they ended their SummerSlam match. A little bit of interference by Maurice, and The Miz picks up the ultimate victory. I like that. And then at Hell in a Cell with their wives. Maurice is right there with Miz. You got Brie Bella right there with Daniel Bryan. And again, Maurice and The Miz are able to defeat Daniel Bryan. Again, this time with Brie Bella. So The Miz, at this point, has Daniel Bryan's number. I like that, going into the Super Showdown. This could be the final match of this feud. So I really want them to go out there, give it all they got. And there's also some stipulation on the line here, right? This is for the number one challenger to the championship that AJ Styles currently has. So this is a match with major implications for the future. And I really don't know which way they go. I mean, common sense would tell you it has to be Daniel Bryan, right? He lost the first two against The Miz. Again, Hell in a Cell was with their wives, but still, that's two losses. And you got to start building Daniel Bryan up again. He just lost another match against Shelton Benjamin Tuesday at SmackDown. This is Daniel Bryan's time, so common sense would tell you that. But that would mean fast-tracking a Daniel Bryan Samoa Joe and or a AJ Styles Daniel Bryan feud already, way before WrestleMania. Are they really going to fast-track that? On the flip side, does Vince give this match to The Miz? And now we're going to have a couple of month feud with The Miz and AJ Styles. Because I don't see Miz versus Samoa Joe happening. Hopefully you guys are keeping track. This could go either way. I think from the beginning this was supposed to be Daniel Bryan's victory, but at any moment, Vince McMahon could change his mind and go with The Miz. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean one way or the other that this feud is totally ended. We could see this another match or two going forward. And I would be okay with that. I told you guys, I would like to see this match, this feud I should say, this story, go on well through 2018. That means through Survivor Series, maybe even into December. I'd be okay with that. As far as who wins this match, if I'm booking this shit, man, I still would have to go Daniel Bryan because everything worked its way so perfectly. You had the loss at SummerSlam. The wives were brought into it for Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan still cannot get that victory. And now here it is with this major carrot dangling in front of you. This is the fucking challenger for the championship is decided in this match. This is a huge victory for Daniel Bryan in Australia. Tens of thousands of wrestling fans in attendance, all doing the fucking yes after that Daniel Bryan victory. Fucking A, man. That's a goosebumps moment. Man, this would be a huge victory for The Miz, though. If The Miz can defeat Daniel Bryan, this would be one of Miz's biggest victories ever. And I know he's a former heavyweight champion. I know all that jazz. I know he's had some big victories. But this would be his fucking biggest, I assure you. Now, if you want to talk big matches, you would talk Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Because just like The Miz and Daniel Bryan, that match is for the number one contender, the number one challenger for that championship. Well, this is the actual championship title match. This is the champion right now, AJ Styles, taking on that challenger, Samoa Joe. Just like Daniel Bryan and The Miz, this is a feud that's been going on several months as well, dating back from SummerSlam and on. And it's a feud that, just like Daniel Bryan and The Miz, I've been kind of hanging on to. I've liked it from day one. That's why SmackDown has been so good lately, with feuds like that. You're talking about feuds like Miz and Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, Becky Lynch and Charlotte. These are all feuds and storylines that have been going multiple months, but we're not getting bored from. Because they're giving it the energy, the time of day, the creativity, and the effort. If you just do that in every feud, they're gonna be epic to us. We're not gonna get bored. It's not gonna be stale. We're actually gonna have intrigue and excitement for it. I get so passionate with that because these are things that Raw just doesn't do. It's the same company. All the writers talk to each other, so why is one so drastically better than the other? Don't give me the bullshit that it's 1 extra hour so it's harder. If you give me an extra hour, it's gonna be easier for me. So anyway, that's a little side rant. But AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, they're gonna deliver. I believe this match is going to be the best out of their series that they've already had. The couple of matches they've already had going into this one, the fucking SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, all of their interactions on SmackDown. This is going to be the best we see of these two, I believe. I don't think this is going to extend past Melbourne, Australia. I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening. I believe once you get into Crown Jewel, AJ Styles will have to now take on Daniel Bryan or The Miz, right? Unless Paige comes up with something. Daniel Bryan or Miz, you will get your chance, but Samoa Joe has to have one more match. I don't know how you would... I don't know. Unless you hot potato a little bit. Samoa Joe wins this match, then AJ Styles is guaranteed his rematch. So wouldn't that come before a number one challenger? There you go. That could be a way they go. Maybe they give it to Samoa. And maybe they go Samoa and Daniel Bryan first. And if Daniel Bryan can ultimately get it, maybe next year for WrestleMania, their paths cross. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. I'm coming up with all these different fucking scenarios, guys. That's what kind of makes Melbourne, Australia kind of intriguing, right? It's these two matches especially. Who's going to win the number one contendership and who's going to walk out of Australia with the WWE Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. It's 50-50. We talk about not knowing who's going to win Daniel Bryan, Miz. Who is Vince really going to go with? We don't know who the fuck he's going to go with, AJ Styles or Samoa. He could have AJ Styles retain and keep his record for his consecutive record for how many days he's held that championship and smash all the old previous records. Or he could just play a little bit of hot potato for a little bit. Or maybe he's just going to go Samoa Joe with the title for the foreseeable future. Until Daniel Bryan gets it, and then maybe down the line we get Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles after we've already seen Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. Again, I can't talk about this without setting up all these scenarios because it is semi-exciting. Because all of these feuds are kind of intriguing, man. Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. A storyline with The Miz and AJ Styles, would be cool. The Miz can just bring out the best out of fucking anybody, and we know AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers there is going today. So all these scenarios really fucking intrigue me. I don't know who Vince puts it on. When this match is all said and done, I have to believe it's going to be AJ Styles. Was this whole title reign for AJ Styles, was this all just to drop the strap to Samoa Joe at a special event at 5 a.m. Melbourne, Australia? Was all this title reign just for that? Possibly. I don't fucking know, man. That's why we're all going to get up very early if you're on the East Coast again. If not, then maybe it's perfect time for you. But we're all going to get up early on the East Coast because these are things we need to know. We need to find out. This is the little bit of intrigue in this whole special event. Those two matches. That's all I'm going to talk about on those two matches, guys. We don't fucking know. That's why we're going to watch, and it should be fun to see the outcomes. And again, it's SmackDown matches, so you know it's going to be a lot more funner and more exciting than the Raw side of things, and we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. First, I want to round out this whole SmackDown side of Super Showdown. And of course, I'm talking Becky Lynch and Charlotte. This is another rematch, obviously. We saw Hell in a Cell, them collide. But this match, I feel they're going to really have their groove going. Stella's going to have her groove back. I think Charlotte and Becky Lynch are really going to deliver here. However, this is not going to be the final meeting. From what I'm hearing is they're going to have another match at Evolution, and even that might not be the end. And even if they decide to switch things up and it's not at Evolution, I fully believe you're going to see another match with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. So don't believe for 1 second this is going to be their final match. But I do believe this could be their best match. Out of Hell in a Cell, and whatever comes at Evolution, I believe both are going to fail in comparison, pale and fail in comparison to this match in Melbourne, Australia. I think Becky Lynch and Charlotte are going to go out there and deliver the best that both have probably delivered in a long time. I just feel it, guys. A lot of these performers are going to go out there and have some of their best performances, maybe of a whole career, of a lifetime. I think this Melbourne, Australia crowd is really going to bring out the best out of them. That whole scenery, the whole atmosphere. It's just something special. And I think it's going to relate and translate into their performances. But again, just like the matches I just previously spoke about, I don't know who they go with. This is a big, big event for Vince. And you know, at these big events, he loves to have Charlotte come out on top. So he could have Charlotte walk out of Australia with that strap and then just hot potato it back to Becky Lynch at Evolution or an event around there, maybe Crown Jewel. But the bottom line, guys, is that he could very well have Charlotte walk out with that strap. Or does he stick with the momentum rider right now, which would be Becky Lynch? Also, on top of all this, the reaction that Australia is going to give both Charlotte and Becky, that's going to be interesting as well. Who is Australia going to decide is the heel and the face in that match? So a lot of fun shit should happen in that match as well. So on the SmackDown side of things, I'm looking forward to a lot. Should be really fun. Then we go into the Monday Night Raw matches. Those 4 matches, maybe not so exciting. Let's discuss. So, I guess we should start out with the Raw exhibition match, just like Naomi and Asuka versus Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. That is the SmackDown's exhibition match. This is Raw's exhibition match. It's exhibition because there's no excitement or build here, guys, and you know it. They're trying to build this feud with Bobby Lashley and Elias and Owens, but it's forgettable, and I'm being generous. Bobby Lashley a few times here and there on Raw gets a few stomps to him. Okay. Kevin Owens and Elias get the upper hand on Bobby Lashley. Okay. But there's no real definitive storytelling going on here. Why is Lashley even giving a shit about Elias and Owens right now? Why would Owens come back and pick a fight with Lashley when a week before he was quitting WWE because of the whole Braun Strowman deal? But then Owens comes back a week later, for some reason attacks Bobby Lashley, and then joins forces with the Braun Strowman coalition. None of it makes sense at all. And on top of that, it's not even interesting or entertaining. So I just want this whole Lashley, Elias, Owens thing to just end. And in order to do that, we have to get Melbourne, Australia out of the way. And Bobby Lashley has himself a tag team partner, and his name is John Cena. So the only semi-interesting thing here is that we get to see John Cena. Now, I've been much harder on John Cena in the first 10 years of his career, I assure you. The last year or two, I've kind of decided that maybe I took him for granted a little bit. The guy did bust his ass for this company. He really did give it everything he had. He showed up to all of his venues and dates. He literally did not want to leave. He did not want to do movies. Vince had to kick him literally out the door of WWE to go do movies. So there could be somebody in the shadows at least of The Rock. Because Vince knows there'll never be another Rock. But at least lurk in his fucking shadows. Cena didn't want to do it. And again, maybe for a lot of us wrestling fans, that's a plus that he finally did, right? Make some fucking room for newer people. But Vince won't make new stars anyway. So it's clear as day. It doesn't matter if John Cena stuck around or he left. No new stars are being fucking made. It's still just about Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman was the closest one, and he got destroyed recently. So, but John Cena, it's always good to see returning superstars, I guess, man. I always said that John Cena should have at least just fucking turned heel at least once in his career because he owed it to himself more than anything, but also to the business. I did feel that was selfish. Whatever. That's a topic for another video, another day. Right now, we're talking John Cena tagging up with Bobby Lashley for some fucking reason. Just to find a spot for John Cena on this card. There's nothing to talk about. There's no analysis that I can talk about. It's Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. All right, it'll be cool to see John Cena come back, see if he still has it, see what rust is still there. I know he's had a few matches already, house show type matches, but this is on a huge fucking stage. I think John Cena doesn't have any fucking rust. I'm sure it's going to pick it up just like that. It's like picking up a bicycle again after not riding for 10 years. He's just going to ride off. So he'll be fine. It'll be cool to see this sixth move of doom that he has created, which doesn't seem like much either. I don't know. Guys, I'm trying here, man. I'm just fucking... I'm trying to grab any positive shit I can find in this tag team match. But just like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay versus Asuka and Naomi, the only thing interesting there is going to see who the crowd and how the crowd is really reacting to all four females. In this match, the only exciting, semi-exciting thing is, hey, John Cena's back for a night. You know, relive a little bit of nostalgia. Whether you love John Cena or you hate him. That's it. I have to move on. I can't. I'm not going to go on for 5 minutes about a match I can give two shits about. So let's go into the women. Let's talk about the women's 6-woman tag match. Oh, fuck. This should really get you fucking out of your seat. This should leave you fucking with goosebumps galore. This is Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins taking on the Riott Squad. If that seems like just a typical Monday Night Raw match in the middle of Monday Night Raw, that's because that's basically all this is. Ronda Rousey can beat the Riott Squad by herself, and I love Ruby Riott, and I'm so happy that Ruby Riott gave Ronda Rousey a match this past Monday. Like a legit challenge, it looked like. It looked like those two really worked well together. Good chemistry. But in reality, Ronda Rousey can wipe them all at the same time. So what are the Bella Twins really adding? Unless they're little chihuahuas and just biting at the fucking feet of Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, then we'll use the Bella Twins in that manner. That's the only reason. I mean, Bella Twins mixing it up with Ronda Rousey, man. That's where we've come. Ronda Rousey, legitimately one of the baddest females in the world. Whether you want to say at one time she was, not anymore, BC, or whether you want to say yes, she still is, it doesn't fucking matter. We're just going to call her one of the baddest women on the fucking planet because she has the skills to be such and the mindset, and she just is. And she's tagging up with the personification of divas, the fucking Bella Twins. If you're excited for that, awesome, man. I'm telling you right now, it's my fucking channel. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not excited about it. And the fucking Riott Squad is their competition. Come on, man. I don't see any way that Ronda Rousey and these Bella Twins don't come out the victors here. But what's worse is that we all think that this is going to be where Nikki Bella turns on Ronda Rousey and sets up Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey for Evolution. Like anybody in the world honestly wants to see that. The only way that semi works, and I'm saying semi because the story would have to be told beautifully, is if you're going to have a total divas fucking ambush on Ronda. Like, all the divas are upset that this legitimate badass has come into WWE, and that's the storyline. And Nikki Bella is leading the charge. Then maybe you can have a storyline here. And even then, I wouldn't want to see Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey main eventing Evolution. I don't even want to see it in the first match at Evolution. But that would be the only semi-way that I'd be intrigued with the storyline. The whole divas are revolting against Ronda Rousey, and then maybe she sends in her reinforcements, which is her fellow horsewomen down there in NXT. And that sets up this epic Survivor Series match. But then we still would have to sit through the bullshit at Evolution of Nikki versus Ronda. But if it's for the grand storytelling, I may just be okay with that. But we gotta see how it unfolds. Does Vince have Nikki Bella turn on Ronda Rousey in Australia? Or does he wait till Monday on Monday Night Raw? And that's where the deed is done. Either way, expect Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey to start their friction this weekend at some point. Either Saturday in Australia or Monday night. That's all I'll say on that match, man. That's the only intrigue there. Is Nikki Bella gonna do the deed? We don't want her to, trust me. But that looks like where Vince is going. So that'll be the only interesting part of that match. The ending. What is going to happen? Are they going to set up Nikki Bella, Ronda Rousey there? We'll all be fucking... I'm sure we'll all be cringing either which way at the end of that match. The Dogs of War, I think they're called, taking on the Shield. Another match I don't give two shits about, because I've seen all 6 of these motherfuckers beating the fuck out of each other in the ring every single week for what seems like an eternity now. Every Monday night, it's the same shit. If it's not fucking Dean and Seth versus MacIntyre and Dolph, it's Dean versus Dolph or Dean versus MacIntyre or Seth versus Dolph 1,000 times or Roman versus Dolph, and it all ends with everybody mixing it up. And now what? What's the payoff? Now we're at the big special event. That's one of your big matches. There's no ultimate payoff because we've already seen everybody get the upper hand on everybody before. If you're excited about this match, awesome, man. Good for you. The wrestling should be good, BC. Yet, at what point does wrestling between the same 2 motherfuckers become redundant? That would be my question. It's the same fucking shit. Over and over with these motherfuckers. To the point where not even the wrestling is interesting anymore because it's the same people. You gotta get creative. It's gotten to the point where, honestly, guys, Roman Reigns, I've put so many rants and spiels together about Roman. About how he needed to turn heel. Just like John Cena, not just for himself, but for the business. And yeah, for the fans. But we needed to see that side of him. It got to the point where, guys, I'm over that. It's gotten to the point, sadly, where for me, Roman Reigns is just stale. Roman Reigns is stale. He comes through the curtain, his music is playing. I don't even have a fucking emotion. It's not even boo or cheer or I have the passion to say, oh, he should be turning heel. There's not even passion anymore. There's nothing. It's just Roman Reigns. I've gotten to the point where I'm fucking lethargic to this shit. Seth Rollins, who's actually really good, lethargic. Because I'm seeing them in the same... Dean Ambrose, who I never really was a big fan anyway, but I can see why people are big fans of Dean Ambrose. I never was. But the same with Seth, Dean, and Roman. They're all in the same boat. It's redundant, lethargic bullshit. They're all stale to me. And the reason is because I've seen them in the same situation every single week. And when you do that for months, it got stale for me. I'm bored of Seth. Can you believe that? One of the best wrestlers going today. I'm bored. I'm bored of him. I'm bored of Dean. I'm bored of Roman, definitely. And it's because WWE has booked them as such. That is sad. That is bullshit. The only guy I gave a fuck about for the longest time was Braun Strowman, and they ruined that a month ago, a little over a month ago, whatever the fuck it was, after SummerSlam, whatever the fuck the timetable is. They ruined Braun Strowman, turned him heel for no fucking reason other than making sure that Roman Reigns gets his spot and nobody's in his shadow there. So they ruined the one guy that they were actually, it looked like anyway, attempting to make a star. Anyway, long story short, Melbourne, Australia, we get another 6-person tag against two teams, 6 individuals that I've seen beating the fuck out of each other every week. So Saturday morning, it'll be more of the same. The analysis of this, I don't give a fuck who walks out on top. Clearly, you gotta believe it's gonna be the Shield, but maybe not. Because nothing is on the line for Braun, so maybe they finally give Braun, they throw Braun Strowman a bone. And he gets a big victory in Melbourne, Australia. With nothing on the line, Braun Strowman has already ruined his cash-in chance because he looked like a big fucking doofus. He gives Baron Corbin the Money in the Bank contract weeks before the match and tells Roman Reigns when he's gonna face him. And then turns heel later that night. That made a lot of sense, WWE booking. Let's make Braun look like an idiot. Just like he made Dean Ambrose look like an idiot this past Monday. When Corbin said, I'll give you a Universal title match, or an IC title match, or you can take on Braun. And Dean Ambrose was like, title matches? I don't want them. I want you, Baron. Yeah, you looked really smart there, Dean. Booking gave you a really smart monologue to go over in your promo. I don't want a championship. I'm in pro wrestling to just be with my buddies. Sound familiar? That's what they're trying to tell us of Sasha Banks and Bayley as well. I can go on and on with the bullshit in this 6-person tag match. I don't give a fuck. It could go either way, and I still don't give a fuck which way they go with. I just want this to be the fucking end of these 6 individuals. I've had it. And then you go to what we believe is going to be the main event. This was supposed to be an exhibition match. Like Peyton, Royce, and Billie Kay's match. Like John Cena's and Bobby Lashley's match. Those are the exhibition. This was supposed to be, but then they started marketing it and building it and promoting it as the main event. And every week they started making it bigger and bigger with one guy responding to another person's response to a response. Every week we had Triple H out there, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Kane. I don't see any way that this is not the main event now. And of course, we're talking Undertaker versus Triple H to what they call the last time ever. But I've already seen it the last time, supposedly. Wasn't it called the end of an era? Well, that wasn't the end of an era because it's happening Saturday. So the era continues? So you lied to me, WWE? Wow, that's never happened before. Remember Once in a Lifetime? It was The Rock versus John Cena, and it was promoted heavily as Once in a Lifetime, and then it happened the very next year at WrestleMania. Twice. They didn't promote it as Twice in a Lifetime because they caught themselves. What the fuck is once in a... If you market something as Once in a Lifetime, you have to make it once and that's it. Or at least not the very next year. What the fuck? Once in a lifetime. In the very next year. Oops, we were just kidding. We're going to actually do it again. So it's actually multiple times in a lifetime. So market it as such. Multiple times in a lifetime. Rock versus Cena. Or just label it, we fucked up. Rock versus Cena Part 2. The end of an era. And now all of a sudden it's the last time ever. They're just changing words around, adding words. We'll see Triple H and Undertaker in 5 years, trust me. To promote some NXT bullshit. But, you know, the only way that this comes out really good, because I only see this, if there's no specialty going on here, no epic schmozzery, keyword is epic schmozzery, because usually I don't like schmozzery or chaos, but if it's the fun kind, then I'm okay with it. For instance, remember at WrestleMania, Sting versus Triple H, you had D-Generation X come down to the ring. The NWO came down to the ring. You had fucking those two entities battling each other. You had the baseball bat come out. The sledgehammer came out. That's what made Sting and Triple H epic. Otherwise, that match would have just been like slow move for slow move, boring maneuver after boring maneuver. It wouldn't have been much. But everything, all the outside shenanigans, man, made for an epic match that I'll always remember. You're going to need some of that in this match Saturday. You're going to need interference from Shawn Michaels, interference from Kane. You're going to need some of that nostalgia. You're going to have to set up something epic storyline-wise after this match that makes us give a shit. something like a real big tease of Shawn Michaels coming back to wrestle. Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Kane and Undertaker at Crown Jewel November 2nd. If you can really set that up and it speaks volumes at the end of this match before we fade to black and go off the air, then I'm totally down. And then that was actually well worth it. But if you don't have that fun epic schmazzery and shenanigans going on, then and you just have Triple H, Undertaker, a little bit of a hint at a tease at Shawn Michaels returning, and a little bit of interference with Kane, but mostly it's just move, boring pace, 10 to 15 minutes, and at the end, Triple H's hands is raised or Undertaker's. If that's it, and we fade to black and go off the air, that's a snooze fest. And I love nostalgia. And I love seeing The Undertaker, Triple H in that ring whenever I can get them. But you built this up since after SummerSlam. You got to have some fun storytelling going here, and you got to have something epic, feud-wise, for the future, hinted, before you go off the air. Then, this Triple H Shawn Michaels thing will be well worth it. Then it could be fun. But if you don't tell this story correctly, this is going to be a bust. But that's why we sit back and watch this event. That's why we sit back and watch all these events. We let it unfold. We hope to be intrigued to the fucking high heavens. We hope to be, we hope to have that suspense in us, that surprise aspect. We hope to be captivated. That's why we watch. Not just have it in hope for these pay-per-views and these special events. We want those surprises. We want to feel that suspense. We want to feel that intrigue. We want to watch and be entertained by exciting shit. Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Kane, all these nostalgia acts, they can pull it off. Are they going to book this correctly? That's my analysis on it. Who the fuck knows who wins this? This could be Triple H raising his hand high to get his revenge because The Undertaker had his number for so many years. We'll see, man. I think the obvious choice here is to send Melbourne, Australia home with The Undertaker riding high. We'll see. Again, for the third time in 2 minutes, that's why we sit back and watch these events. We let it unfold and we watch what happens, man. We're either going to fucking love it or we're going to hate it. We might be in the middle, but you damn well better bet that when Super Showdown goes off the air, the Amplified Man will be making his Good, the Bad, and the Ugly video, and it'll be out just a few hours after the event. So be on the lookout for it, guys. Saturday late morning or early afternoon Saturday after Super Showdown goes off the air, I'm going to film this video. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Not this video. That video. And I'm going to put it right out to you guys. So something to look forward to for sure on the channel. But for us all, Super Showdown, man. Whether it seems like a glorified SmackDown and Raw or not, there is some excitement, right? This is a huge event for WWE. They might pull out all the stops here. Or they might treat it as just a glorified SmackDown Raw. Who the fuck knows? I'm going to shut up and just sit back like all you guys and watch this thing. And then I'll have all my analysis afterwards. But that's your preview show. That's all 10 matches, guys. And again, I didn't go over the Cruiserweight match because it's a Cruiserweight match. But those are the other 9 bigger matches. A couple of exhibition matches, some championship matches, a huge #1 contendership match, and then that big nostalgia match with Triple H and Undertaker. Shawn Michaels and Kane out there at ringside. We're going to double fist some coffees, kick a lot of fucking ass. I will see you guys late Saturday morning. I hope you guys all enjoy Super Showdown. For now, the Amplified Man checking you guys later.